More on how to get the most out of film festivals, I highly recommend watching my friend and fellow filmmaker Ethan Minsker's A Filmmaker's Guide to Film Festivals. It has a lot of great tips and it's fun to see kind of boots on the ground what it's like at a film festival. And he has a lot of great gems in that. But I wanted to talk about swag essentially, or like ways to promote your film. So when you have a film at a festival, the best thing that you can do is to bring promotional items and to include them in all the, all the bags that people get when they check in. And it's just I can't tell you how incredible it feels when you're talking about your film at a festival and somebody goes, "Oh, yeah, I've already heard about this film," even though it's just premiering because you put your postcard in the welcome bag that comes with the festival, or you put it on the festival table. So it's really important to bring stuff to promote your film festival. While in other videos, I talked about how nobody's doing business cards anymore, which is true. I do think that it's still really important to bring material for your actual film because people actually like to take that stuff home for a film, which it's kind of like collector's items and something to remember the festival and something to remember the films that you saw. And it's just a fun way for people to have something that they can visually like put up on their wall if they really liked it or things like that. Keep up with things and remember, oh, I saw this film and I want to follow and see where it ends up. So the basic kind of first step is to do a postcard. So, we did them for Acid Test, my new short film Twofer. We've got postcards for Twofer. And these are kind of your standard first first level of promotional items, which, like I said, you can put on any kind of festival table, walk around the festival areas. There might be coffee shops that have community tables or community boards. If they're working or partnering with the festival, they might have promotional items for the film festival there as well that you can drop off a stack. Vistaprint, I always use them. They've got a great, pretty cheap way to do that. And one of the key things that I think is important about this is you want to create a QR code for your film, whether it goes to the website or the Instagram or the link to how people can buy tickets or go see your film. It's something that a QR code can be constantly updated. So you can, it's just an easy way to make sure that if it goes to something generic like a link tree or like I said, a website, then you can constantly update the information there without changing the QR code. So that's really important. The other thing I recommend is leave space in some of the area. Like certainly have information about your film and who's in it and all that stuff, but leave space at the bottom. And you can see here we've got like a little label. We just used, mailing labels and printed out the screening time for our film at this particular festival. So if you order like a batch of 500 postcards, you're not going to bring all of them to one festival. You're going to, take 100 or 200 or things like that. And so for those 200, you want to make sure that the screening is listed for that particular festival where you're going to be handing them out. But then you still have all these other postcards that you can use for future festivals, and that brings the cost of the printing down and all that stuff. So that's kind of an important way. And again, the QR code can help do that, but a QR code requires people to, follow the QR code and kind of click on the links, whereas like having the text right there, somebody goes, "Oh, okay, you're screening this Sunday at 11:30, so I will be there." It just makes it easy. And so you want to make things as easy as possible. But postcards are still, they're not pocket size. And I've literally seen somebody take my postcard and like fold it in half. And I'm like, oh God, the beautiful image that's on the postcard and stick it in their pocket. So it's still not ideal in that sense. when you're just kind of handing them out randomly. So you could get business size postcards where the flip side is just the QR code and the front side is the poster. And then those are easy to stick in your pockets. Other ways that people have done this, we also did these little like bands for acid test, which are great because then you can just put it on and, I don't have to hold anything. I don't have to stick anything in my pocket. Recently I was at South by and found this podcast, Humanize Her, which looked really interesting. And they also had these bands, which again, and they have like little messages on the inside. And these are also easy to print, pretty good from a cost standpoint. Humanize Her also had coasters, which I thought was interesting. So I grabbed one. And so another idea. When I was at Dances with Films with Acid Test, there was another film there called A Little Dead, which created these little, journals, which are great because you're at festivals, they usually have workshops and panels and things like that. And so if you forget to bring something to write notes in, or if you want to have a little like again memento of this festival, you can be like, okay, I'm going to use this as my festival journal to take notes in, and then you'll always know like where you got it. So this one also has a QR code plus the screening date on it. So I thought that was fun, and again, this is pocket size, so it's easy to just stick it in your back pocket. um then for acid test for the short film, and then we reuse them for the feature as well. I had a blotter gallery, if for acid, for LSD tabs, create this image with my lead Juliana's face on it. And so we created these kind of like quarter sheets and full sheets. And you can see we also stuck the screening information on the back as well. And these were fun because you can actually like break them up. And so for parties and things like that, people were like sticking them on their tongue and taking pictures. No drugs involved, but it was a lot of fun to do. And what's great about all of these things is that you can use them for perks in your crowdfunding campaigns. So they work on a variety of levels. And again, people like to have this kind of stuff and have these mementos of the festivals and the films that they go see. So it's definitely worth the money. And if your festival that you're in allows you to submit, like I think Austin Film Festival, you could do kind of a phase like up to 200, or I don't know, I can't remember how many it was, but Austin Film Festival allowed us to put a postcard in every single bag that people got at registration. It's totally worth the money to do that, because like I said, it's just an incredible feeling. It's a easy way to spread the word as opposed to having to tell everybody, and hand it out directly. It's a great way to spread the word before you even show up. So anyways, good luck with your festivals.